10 World War II heroes to remember. Number 10, he defied orders with a pen. This man disobeyed his government to save lives and became a silent hero of the Holocaust. Chiune Sugihara was a Japanese diplomat stationed in Lithuania during World War II. In 1940, desperate Jewish refugees lined up outside his office, begging for exit visas. They had no passports, no documents, just fear and hope. Tokyo told him, "Do not help them." But Sugihara couldn't turn his back. For 29 days straight, he hand-wrote visas, over 300 a day, even as he ate and barely slept. His wife massaged his hands when they cramped from writing too much. When he was finally forced to leave, he threw blank-signed visas out the train window to the crowd. In total, he saved over 6,000 Jews, more than Oskar Schindler. He lost his job, lived in obscurity, and never asked for recognition. One survivor called him humanity at its best. Chiune Sugihara, the Japanese Schindler, risked everything just to do what was right. Number 9, the sky was no limit for her. She wasn't born into power, she earned it, one flight at a time. Her exact birth year is uncertain. She claimed 1906, but records suggest she may have been born earlier and was likely orphaned. Jacqueline Cochran grew up in poverty, working in a cotton mill by age 8. But she dreamed of flying, and refused to be grounded by her past. She learned to fly in just 3 weeks. Then she broke altitude records, speed records, even distance records. No man or woman in the world matched her pace. But she didn't stop there. During World War II she saw how many male pilots were at war, and knew women could fill the skies too. So she led the Women Air Force Service Pilots, WASP, training over 1,000 female pilots to serve their country. They flew bombers, tested new aircraft, ferried planes across battle zones, all while being told, "This isn't your place." Jacqueline didn't listen, she soared. And when the war ended she kept flying, right into the history books. She proved that courage isn't about who lets you in, but how far you're willing to fly alone. Number 8, she sang and spied for freedom. She danced in pearls, dazzled Paris, and broke racial barriers with every step. But behind the feathers and fame, she was also a spy. Josephine Baker, born in 1906 into poverty and segregated America, became one of the most celebrated entertainers in France. On stage, she was adored. Offstage, she was dangerous, to the Nazis. When World War II broke out, she joined the French resistance. Her weapon, charm, and access. She smuggled secrets written in invisible ink on sheet music, carried classified information inside her dress, and used her stardom to attend embassy events, where she overheard Nazi plans and passed them to the Allies. She risked everything. Her fame, her freedom, her life. After the war, she was awarded France's highest military honors, including the Croix de Guerre and the Legion of Honor. She later adopted 12 children which she referred to as Rainbow Tribe and raised them in France. Josephine Baker wasn't just a star, she was a soldier in stilettos, a symbol of resistance wrapped in elegance, and a woman who fought with more than bullets. She fought with brilliance. Number 7, the man who saved 669 children, silently. This man kept a secret for 50 years, until the truth stunned the world. His name was Nicholas Winton, a young British stockbroker in 1938, just before World War II. While others vacationed, he traveled to Nazi-occupied Czechoslovakia, and quietly began a mission that would change hundreds of lives. He forged documents, bribed officials, arranged train after train to carry Jewish children out of danger and into safety, away from the Nazis and into the arms of adoptive families in Britain. He didn't tell anyone, not even his wife. Decades later she found a dusty scrapbook in their attic, names, photos, transport lists, 669 children he'd saved from the Holocaust. He never wanted recognition, but in 1988 he was surprised on live television, surrounded by the very children he had rescued, now grown with families of their own. Nicholas Winton didn't wear a uniform, he didn't carry a weapon, but he fought evil with a pen, a plan, and a heart that couldn't look away. He lived to the age of 106. Number 6, he stormed into battle with a sword and bagpipes. This man brought a sword to a gunfight, and won. Born in 1906 and nicknamed Mad Jack, John Churchill was a British want-to officer who didn't believe in modern warfare. Instead of rifles, he charged into battle with a longbow, a Scottish broadsword, and bagpipes. In one of his most famous missions, he silently took out a German soldier with his bow, making him the last known person to kill with a longbow in war. Then he led his men into battle, playing bagpipes under gunfire, sword swinging at his side. Captured later in the war, he escaped a Nazi camp, only to walk 150 miles to freedom. When asked why he fought like it was the Middle Ages, he said, "Any officer who goes into action without his sword is improperly dressed." He wasn't just eccentric, he was fearless, and to this day, Mad Jack Churchill remains one of the most legendary, unconventional warriors in history. A soldier of another era who made history on his own terms. Number 5, he volunteered to enter Auschwitz. This man volunteered for one of the most dangerous missions imaginable. Witold Pilecki, a Polish resistance fighter, infiltrated Auschwitz in 1940, not as a prisoner, but as a spy. His mission was to gather intelligence on Nazi atrocities and share them with the world. Pilecki's courage knew no bounds. Once inside the camp, he endured unimaginable horrors while secretly documenting the conditions and organizing resistance. Despite his efforts to raise awareness of the mass murders, the world remained largely silent. But Pilecki never gave up. He finally escaped the camp after nearly 3 years, carrying with him crucial evidence of Nazi crimes. Pilecki's bravery and dedication to fighting evil came at an incredible personal cost. His actions remain a powerful testament to the strength of the human spirit and the fight for freedom, even in the darkest times. Number 4, he kept fighting, 29 years after the war ended. This soldier refused to surrender. Hiroo Onoda was a Japanese intelligence officer sent to the Philippines during World War II. As the war came to an end in 1945, he received one final order: never surrender, and he obeyed. For nearly 30 years, Onoda lived in the dense jungles, hiding from enemies he believed were still hunting him. Leaflets, radio broadcasts, even messages from his own family. He dismissed them all as enemy propaganda. Onoda held his ground, until 1974, when his former commanding officer was brought to the island to personally relieve him of duty. After 29 years, Hiroo Onoda finally laid down his rifle and returned to Japan, a soldier who had fought a war that ended decades before. Onoda wasn't alone. Many Japanese soldiers continued fighting well into the 1940s, 50s, 60s, and even the 70s. This was due to Japan's strong sense of loyalty and honor, where surrender was seen as deeply dishonorable. Number 3, she smuggled children out in baskets. She carried hope in her hands, sometimes hidden in toolboxes, sometimes in coffins. Irene Sendler, a Polish social worker during World War II, witnessed the horrors of the Warsaw Ghetto firsthand, and she made an unthinkable choice: to fight back with compassion. Under the guise of conducting sanitary inspections, she smuggled Jewish children out, one by one. Some were sedated and placed in sacks, others hidden under stretchers or in suitcases. Each child she saved was given a new identity, a fake name, and placed with Christian families or in orphanages. But Irina didn't forget who they really were. She kept their real names in glass jars buried beneath an apple tree, hoping one day they'd reunite with their families. She was eventually caught, beaten, and sentenced to death. But she never revealed a single name. She survived. And because of her, 2,500 children did too. Irene Sendler didn't wear a cape. She carried a jar, and inside it, the future. Number 2, a wireless operator with a royal bloodline and deadly mission. She was born a princess, soft-spoken, poetic, a dreamer. But Noor Inayat Khan became one of the most dangerous women in Nazi-occupied France. The daughter of an Indian Sufi mystic and descendant of Tipu Sultan, she was raised on peace. But when World War II erupted, she chose war. Trained by the British Special Operations Executive, she became the first female wireless operator sent into occupied France. Her mission? Transmit vital intelligence while constantly on the run. The Gestapo was hunting her. Most agents survived 6 weeks. Noor lasted 3 months. She changed locations daily, carried a gun she refused to use, and sent coded messages under Nazi noses. Eventually betrayed, she was captured, tortured, and never spoke a word. No names, no codes, nothing. In 1944, at just 30 years old, she was executed at Dachau. Her final word? Liberté. Noor Inayat Khan, princess poet, spy, a silent storm who died for freedom. Number 1, they called her the White Mouse, and feared her name. She was the most wanted woman in Nazi-occupied Europe. Nancy Wake, born in 1912 in New Zealand, was living in France when World War II broke out. By 1943, she had joined the French resistance, smuggling supplies and people across borders, right under the Nazis' noses. They called her the White Mouse, because no matter how hard they tried, they couldn't catch her. The Gestapo put a 5 million franc bounty on her head. She didn't flinch. When her network was exposed, she escaped, hiking over the Pyrenees into Spain, alone, in winter. Later, she parachuted back into France as a British Special Operations Executive Agent. There, she led over 7,000 fighters in guerrilla warfare, sabotaging railways, blowing up bridges, and taking down Nazis. She once killed a German sentry with her bare hands to prevent a mission from being compromised. After the war, she was awarded medals from the UK, US, and France, but she didn't want fame, she wanted freedom.